So hello, everyone. Welcome to Photo Time, which is actually the last one for the year because of the holiday schedule in December. There won't be another one until January, but we're really glad that you're here tonight. I chose a different topic than I had originally planned, and I hope that you find it useful and helpful in getting ready for the holidays. But for everybody who might be watching the recording, just so you know that Photo Time is part of the Consistently Creative Crew's Wednesday evening Zooms. And each month, typically the first Wednesday of the month, we get together and talk about various ways to enjoy our photos or our videos or audio files. And the rest of the month, we work on sharing them in scrapbooking layouts. So today, I'm hoping that we'll have some interactive conversation. And there is a handout that I created to kind of go along with this for you to take notes on. But if you don't have the handout, it's okay. You can always jot down notes on another sheet of paper or come back to it later on. But I hope that some of the ideas that I've got for you here this evening will be helpful. So it's all about the holidays. And we just had one holiday a week ago, and when the fall holiday season kicks off with Halloween. And all the time when we reach the holidays, we think that we're going to remember all these special moments forever, but they can really slip by really quickly if we don't take time to capture them intentionally. So I know that there's been a lot of discussions about intentionality and thinking about when you're in a big event, taking a moment to just savor the moment so you can remember it and recall it later on. So tonight I'm going to share some tips about how to plan for taking photos that really matter and for capturing some of those moments without adding stress, and what to do with them afterwards to stay organized and so that they're easy to enjoy. So if you registered, I emailed a PDF handout to you, and if you're here live and didn't get that, I did put it in the chat, so you should have access to it. And you'll also be able to grab it from our Consistently Creative Croppers Facebook group. I'll add that later on after I post the recording. And if you're watching this on YouTube or on some other channel, just email us at consistentlycreativecrew@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to email it to you. So before we jump into planning and some photo ideas, let's just take a moment to pause and think about why capturing holiday memories matters so much. Because the holidays are often the most photographed, and yet sometimes the most overlooked when it comes to the stories behind the pictures that you take it. So think about it. Every year we take hundreds of photos, but how often do we actually look back and really feel what the holidays meant to us? The warmth, the laughter, or the quiet traditions that make the season special. So capturing holiday memories is more than just taking pictures. It's about preserving stories and traditions that define our families, remembering people, recipes, decorations, gatherings that connect a bunch of generations, and giving ourselves a chance to relive those feelings long after the season ends. So our goal tonight isn't to add something to your to-do list. It's to just help you be intentional about what you do capture so that your photos really reflect what truly matters to you and your family. So the holidays are full of moments. Many of them hopefully make us smile, but they can also fly by in a blur. So tonight, I'd like you to think about what really makes the holidays special for you. So when you look back and reflect on past holiday seasons, what are the moments you remember most clearly? Is it a tradition that was handed down through generations? Is it a meal that always brings everyone together? Maybe it's a sound like music or laughter that instantly takes you back. Maybe your memories are tied to something new, a tradition you started, a trip you took, or a person who joined your celebration for the first time. Think about those traditions and where they came from. Were they passed down from parents, grandparents, in-laws, friends, coworkers? Or maybe it was something that your family created along the way. Because these are the moments that really tell your story, and the ones that are so easy to overlook if we just don't pause to capture them. So you might jot down a few words or phrases on your holiday planner as we go, just to capture some of those things that matter the most before we dive into some of the planning part. So we have some, I've grouped a few of these into a couple of different categories just to make things a little bit easier on your handout. And I'm going to go over a number of these, some examples, some questions to think about as I go through some of the presentation. So, hold on. So now that I've considered, or we've considered, the why and what makes the holiday special, it's time to start planning some of those photo moments. So using your holiday memory planner, organizing some of your ideas into 4 categories: loved ones and guests, traditions and activities, decorations and atmosphere, and food and favorite things. So as you plan, think about which moments are most meaningful, which might happen only once, and which details you want to be sure to capture. This will help you focus during the busy holiday season and ensure that your memories are preserved intentionally. So let's start by thinking about the people who make your holiday special, your loved ones and guests. Who do you most want to remember this year? Are there friends or family who are new, or who you are visiting with for the first time in a while, or who are traveling and may not be with you next year? Think about interactions or candid moments that capture connection, laughter, joy. And some of the memories are in the small gestures: a smile, a shared laugh, or a moment of surprise. So jot these down in your holiday memory planner under the loved ones and guests section, so you'll remember to prioritize them when taking some photos. So I'm going to pause the recording for people here to be able to do that. So we had just some great ideas from people here. So it's wonderful to hear some of the ideas and memory jogging that people are having as they're doing this. So going on to the next section, traditions and activities that make your holidays unique. So consider what traditions make you feel most connected to your family or friends. Are there some small behind-the-scene moments that usually get overlooked but are meaningful? And which activities bring you the most joy, and would you like to capture them visually this year? And maybe it's even an audio file or a video file that is special for capturing some of these items. So consider where the tradition came from. Was it passed down from previous generations? Was it something you started? Was it something that you saw in a magazine or in a book that you decided to try? Think about the meaning behind those activities. What stories, memories do you want to preserve? And these reflections will guide you as to what to photograph or to note. Some examples might include decorating the tree, decorating your home, baking favorite recipes, reading stories together, singing songs, listening to music, playing games, volunteering in your community, other community events, even small rituals like a special breakfast or lighting candles are very meaningful. So jot down some ideas in your holiday memory planner under the traditions and activities section, and include the activity and the meaningful moments associated with it. So I'm going to pause again. All right, so the next topic is decorations and atmosphere. So things that make your space feel like the holidays. So what decorations or displays make your home or your community feel festive? Are there heirlooms or lights or special touches that hold meaning? Maybe there are some special holiday lights that you go see in your community that are unique and special in your area. Don't forget the little details that create the mood. Maybe it's the sparkle of ornaments on the tree, a candlelit corner in your home, seasonal colors, or the scent of pine or cinnamon. These are often the small touches that make your memories more vivid. And when you are reminded of them, when you look at your photos, they bring back a really good emotion. So consider how those elements tell a story or evoke emotion and how they make you feel, because that helps you preserve not only what the holiday looked like, but how it made you feel. So we're going to take a few moments and have you sit and think about what you'd might like to capture regarding decorations and atmosphere to note for later. So we're having some great sharing here, and I hope if you're watching the recording that it's bringing to mind some good ideas for you also. So the next topic is food and favorite things, the tastes, smells, and small details that bring your holidays to life. What dishes, treats, or beverages make your family feel at home during the holidays? Or are there recipes or snacks that carry special meaning or memories? Think about a favorite objects or little rituals too. Maybe a cherished mug, a special apron, or a table setting that you use every year. These details can add depth and emotion to your photos and your notes. Consider how these moments tell a story or evoke emotion. Rituals like sharing cocoa, or preparing a favorite breakfast, or enjoying a special snack are meaningful to capture. So jot these down under food and favorite things. Focus on capturing those flavors, feelings, and fun of your holiday season. Some other great things, and now I'm getting hungry, even though we're past my dinner time, and I had a good sized dinner, but now I'm hungry for some food. So now I want to take a moment and think about planning some of your photos. So you've made some notes on some people, traditions, decorations, foods, things that you want to capture. So now we're going to think about when it's going to be important to capture those. So some of them might happen only at one time. It might be one specific event. And so those might mean that you need to have your camera or your phone ready to go to take that special shot. Or it might be something that you can gather at any time because the people are going to be around over the holidays, but you're going to have to remember to do it. So thinking about when you're going to take the photo. So there's some spaces on your handout for you to write, when do you need to do it? Whether you need to take a photo or a video during the event, what kind of memory jogger are you going to need in order to do that? And don't forget to think about whether you need candid moments or posed photos, because sometimes we do want the posed photo with everybody in it. Sometimes we want the candid times where you're catching laughter or interactions or small details that tell the story of your holiday together. A few simple tips can help you make your photos look even better. So remembering to use natural light whenever possible, near windows, candles, outdoor lighting. Try simple angles, eye level for people, overhead shots for tables or food, close-ups for details. You don't always need fancy equipment because our phones that have cameras built into them are really amazing and can take great photos in all sorts of lightings and settings. But think about the perspective that you're taking the photo, because a lot of times we just take a photo right in front of it, where maybe off to the side or above it or looking from below would be a better photo. And the goal isn't perfection in all of your photos. It's just being intentional so that later when you look back at the photos, you've captured what you wanted to capture, the meaning, the emotion of your holiday season. So take a few moments now to mark some of those ideas or things that you want to be sure to capture, whether maybe it's a close-up of something, you want to get something outside, something inside. So you can take a moment and do that. Okay, so now that we've thought a lot about some of our photos, let's talk about some of the other things that you can do before the holidays even get here to kind of be prepared. So one thing that you can do in your Forever account is to create some albums that are specific for your holidays. I know in the past we've talked about setting up albums for years and for travel and for other times, but you can set up albums for each of these groupings or categories. And one of the nice things about doing that is when you create one of those albums, you can actually make some notes right in the album description so that when you go to that album on your phone, you can see some of those notes. So you don't have to necessarily carry the sheet of paper around with you, but you can utilize the album descriptions. So if you create a holiday album for 2025, and it can just be for all of your holidays, or it can be for the individual holidays, you can create categories or create an album for people, create an album for traditions and activities, create an album for decorations and atmosphere, etc. And then in the album description, write some of those notes that you just took on your sheet of paper so that you capture all of those. You can also take a completed photo of the page that you've been writing on and stick that in your Forever account. You don't have to scan it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be just your notes that you took. And putting it in there where you can find it is really helpful. And the reason I suggest putting it in an album as opposed to just leaving it in your gallery upload, because your gallery upload is going to get full of potentially other photos between now and the end of the month. If you put it specifically in an album, you can actually go directly to that album and then find it. So I encourage you to think about maybe putting some of these pre-planning your holiday albums, putting some of these notes in there, because I think that can make it a lot easier. I know that when I've pre-planned trips and I've pre-planned the albums for the trips, it makes it a lot easier to sort everything into it. So think about what might help you. And if these groupings that I have here are not really going to be what's most helpful to you, use what's going to work for you. Maybe it's, like somebody mentioned, doing some things at the senior center. Maybe it's doing things with the grandkids. Maybe it's doing things at your home. Maybe it's doing things in a community, going to a specific event. So think about what kind of albums might be helpful to you. And you can always create some of those as early as now, or do them a little bit later. So that's one thing that you can do. And by keeping your album titles really simple and clear and using at least the year in your album title, you'll be able to search for it. You'll be able to find it. So I tend to like to organize as I go when I'm doing a big thing like a trip or a holiday, because then it's all there and it's already organized and I've already got one level of organization and you can upload right into an album. So I'm going to pause just in case there's any questions on that while we're here. So after the holidays, I have made a couple of notes here on the handout for you to make some notes when the holidays are wrapping up. So you can jot down some comments about gifts that you gave or received, any surprises or unexpected moments, and maybe some reflections on what made the season special. So sometimes capturing those post-holiday moments is just as meaningful as planning for the holidays themselves, because again, we think we're going to remember, and a lot of times we forget things. You might even want to take photos of gifts or cards or decorations that you receive or give along, throughout the holidays, and keep them alongside some of your notes. So I want to transition over to some meaningful gift ideas that you can incorporate into your using your photos and memories. And for 2025, Ever has added a lot of new products, including towels, both tea towels, which are also kitchen towels, beach towels, pillows in 3 different sizes, woven blankets, which I saw one in July, but I heard from somebody just recently that it's even better than she remembered because hers just came in this week. So it's become a favorite at her house, and a lot of wall panels in various sizes. There's also some favorites from past years, holiday cards with new designs, 2026 calendars, a number of different ornaments, planners and notebooks, as well as my personal favorite, the mink Sherpa blankets. And there's also plush and outdoor blankets. So Forever ended up providing us a couple of documents, and I'm going to pull those up in order to help with that. And I didn't have these queued up, so hold on. So this is their holiday shopping guide, and it has the sizes of things. It has some images of them so you can see them. There's the front and the back, which is a really nice handout that can kind of give you some ideas. There's also, of course, the drinkware, the tumblers, mugs. We were having a discussion about the mugs earlier, about one of the old recipes for peppermint hot chocolate. That was really good. And then there's puzzles, which make great gifts for the kids, and coaster sets, as well as some other things. So I will end up putting that in our Facebook group, but everybody who's here received it. And somebody had created this holiday gift list for us to use for people to help if they were creating photo gifts, so they could kind of think about who they were creating for, what kind of gift. And if you were looking on the Create and Print website and wanted to use a specific design that you really liked, you could even note the design here on the sheet of paper. And do you have your photos ready? Is your project ready to go? And what do you have it ready to order? So I am going to bring up the Forever website because I just wanted you to see the ordering deadlines. So when you go on to forever.com, the easiest place I think right now to see the shipping deadlines is to scroll all the way down to the bottom and go to the Let Us Help You section and click on shipping info. And when you click on that, it comes up with the information about Forever Print, so photo gifts. And currently the US economy deadline is December 8th, and Canada economy deadline is also December 8th. And if you are looking at Forever digitization boxes, the holiday ordering deadline is December 12th. And if you are wanting to receive digitization back, so you have it by December 24th, your box needs to be postmarked by November 7th. But that's the easiest way to find those. And if you're looking at Create and Print and you're looking at any of the items here, they've been coming out with new designs every couple of days on various things. So they've already got a lot of holiday designs out there ready and available for you to just drag and drop your photos into. So it should be quick and easy for everyone. So I want to, just before we wrap up, and see if a few people would be willing to come off of mute. And even if it's something that you shared while we weren't recording, but you'd be willing to share it for the recording, I'd appreciate that, because I think it might spur some other people to have some memories. So you might share one of the things that you thought about while we were going through all of this, or maybe you came up with an idea that you hadn't thought about before, or some favorite memories, because this can be really inspiring to other people. And we know that there are a number of members of our community who can't be with us on Wednesday evenings, so they enjoy hearing whatever everybody else has to say. So anybody willing to come off of mute and just share with us for the recording?
Colleen will. Surprise. So a gift that I have given to my nieces and nephews and my great nieces and nephews in memory of my mother is the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas book, and I inscribe it in her memory and gift it to all of them. But I'm going to ask them all to send me pictures of them reading the books together, so I can scrapbook that the tradition is continuing through multiple generations.
I love that. That's awesome.
So
Okay.
special gifts you give to someone, ask them to send you a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I know what you'll be scrapbooking then early in the year.
Yep.
Okay. Everybody else, there were so many great ideas. Help me get one more on our recording.
One that pops up in my experience goes back to years ago when my parents got together with their siblings and would go through old photographs and talk about them. And we actually found the cassette recordings of that when I was working on digitizing everything that I could find. And it was amazing to have multiple cassettes of them going through albums and discussing who they were and reminiscing about them.
Wow. That sounds like quite a treasure to have and
Wow.
be able to get a copy of that. That's awesome.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
they're already up on forever. So, I've got them digitized and up and identified, and now have to sit and listen to them while looking at the photos.
That sounds like a good holiday thing to do. That's really neat.
What a treasure that you have.
Yes. Somebody else came off of mute to say something. All right. Well, honestly, for those of you listening to the recording, there was a whole lot more conversation, but now that we're recording, I guess everybody got shy. So I just want to say thank you to everyone tonight for joining me. I hope that you found the time to be useful and that it gave you a little bit of intentionality to think about the holiday season. And it was a way to kind of tie in the memory keeping, the photo preservation, everything that we're doing with keeping our stories going. So I hope you found that really useful. So use your holiday planner to capture and organize some of those memories, from the people and traditions you love to the decorations, food, and special moments that make the holidays unique. And I really appreciate you joining tonight. Enjoy capturing your season. And don't forget that the best memories are made when we notice some of the little moments that make all of our lives and our holidays special. So thank you, everyone.